Let's go.
Leeks now. With the leek, I cut it in half. Then then I cleaned the insides very well, so that you know all the dirt that's usually in the leek is gone. I also add the leafy side, some celery sticks. I just used 3 very cleanly washed, and this is some parsley. Then some carrots. You see that I didn't peel the outside. I didn't leave this root place. We're still going to remove everything. So this one is just, just to add as much flavor as you can. Some ginger. Try not to add so much because ginger has this very overpowering tendency. Some garlic. I used about, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is about 5 cloves of garlic. The skin is still on, but what I did is that I used my knife and I smashed it. Dried bay leaves, some dried thyme, just a few peppercorns, some dried rosemary, 3 liters of cold water. We cover and we bring this to a boil. When we bring it, we are going to see some skum, some of this things from the chicken, and maybe from the some things that you don't want in your clear soup. If it was African soup, we don't really care about that, to be honest. But because we're making this Asian style, we're going to skim off the yuckiness from the top. Okay, see you when this comes to a boil. It's come to a boil, but I noticed that usually when it comes to a boil, we're meant to see some of those gunk, some of that gunk, and that gunk is basically fat or just some impurities on the chicken and everything. And usually they come to the top, but if you can see, literally doesn't have any scum. So meaning that probably because I got this from my butcher and it was already prepackaged, so probably like most of the meat and most of the fats and everything has been taken off of this. But just in case you see any gunk, you will skim it out. That's why I actually brought this strainer out. You just like skim it off and anything. So after that, we're just going to reduce it to a simmer. So it was at 8 before, so I reduced it to a 4. And we're just going to let this go for 3 hours. 3 hours on the stove. You can come back every like 30 minutes to skim off any gunk if you see. But if you don't, I think that's fine too. Like literally see, usually you're when you like skim it off like this, you're meant to like see something, but my strainer is coming out clean, so I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, all right. Oh sorry, and if you ask why my hand is white, I'm doing something else. Okay, I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Yeah. Well, you are just going to see me in like a few, like next clip, but there's going to be 3 hours later. Then 3 hours. In fact, it's been a bit more than 3 hours now. But I turned it off at 3 hours. Now we're just going to check on how she looks. Do you know the funny thing? Is it a sieve? My sieve was ready to skim anything, but apparently my chicken did not need any sieving. There was literally like 0 gunk. So you can see that there is literally, and I did not skim anything. And you guys can see that there's literally nothing. Like on the top, it's very clear. Okay, so this yielded about close to 2.3 liters of stock, and we started from 3 liters. Now this is not the Nigerian way, this is not the African way of making stock. Well, let me just say this is not the Nigerian way of making stock. This is when you want a very clear, smooth stock. Yeah. You see that it's very nice and it smells so good. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but it smells really, 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 really good. it is brought to be flavorful. I personally prefer using chopped garlic because I like to taste I like having the chunks of garlic in my soup. But if you do not really like the taste of having raw garlic or ginger in your mouth, then you could, just for the flavor, you could just crush the garlic, make them don't cut them into very little pieces, so that after they've infused, you could take them off or take them out, so your broth can be clean. We're just going to bring this to a boil, then we'll reduce it and let it simmer. Okay, so now it's boiling, so I'm just going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. So this is boiling, got the water just a little bit. Maybe I should have put the purple cabbage last, because now it's stained the water. That is a rolling boil. We need it to be a really rolling boil. Then these are the dumplings these are excess of the dumplings that I made in my previous video. If you have not watched it, I'm going to link it right about now. And I just formed the dumplings and I just freeze them this way. I added a lot of flour, but even without the flour, they separate real easily actually. Okay. They separate really easily. So these are the dumplings that I'm going to be using. You can see that they're floating now. This is my strainer, and just take them off carefully. According to the packaging. For this one, it asked me to boil the water, remove it from the heat, then let them stay in the water for 5 minutes, stirring frequently to separate. So I'm just going to use this water. You can use plain water, but I decided to use this first. Just have to let them sit for 4 minutes, and it's actually soft, so it's not hard anymore. It's quite soft, but it keeps the shape. So yeah, it's done. So let's go and serve it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, let's assemble.